We are live. We are talking touchdowns. My name is Astaire, and I'm joined today by JC Zargo. We're going to talk NFL Wild Card Weekend. JC, we did a little rundown. We talked about some things we felt. Have any of your opinions changed during the week? Because one of mine did, and Tyler and Meg weren't too happy with me. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty set. There were two games that I was kind of on the fence about that I think I made up my mind on. So I'm pretty much holding strong. I got most of my bets in early in the week. No real room to change anyways.
All right, well, let's dive right into this card. Hold on, I'm retweeting this. And of course, we'll check
As
the
should
chat.
all of you. At the house.
Yeah,
Let
good
them all know we're
point.
live.
Guys, give us a retweet, guys. Let's get this thing going. We've been here all
We've
year,
been
and I
giving
really
out-
thought we were going to... Go ahead.
I would say, yeah, we've been killing it all year. Like, we've been stellar. This is the best NFL season I've ever had. Like, show some appreciation, people. Share the word. Let your friends know. And I think we're in for another huge weekend here.
Yeah, I think we are too. And we've been, on a new channel, and I was hoping to grow that channel. It hasn't gone exactly how as I get, but I'm not getting discouraged. You know how much NFL content is out there? I mean, JC, I just hit Sports Band on YouTube. There's like 1,000. And you know what else just popped up? There's more NBA shows now. We used to be like 1 to 3 NBA shows. There's a bunch of new NBA shows popping up, so that's cool. But we're going to try and drive some people there. So, guys, share the word. Don't keep us to yourselves. Trust me, we're not moving these lines. You're still going to be able to get the winners, and that's not going to happen. So, JC, let's dive right in, and we're going to start with the game in which I haven't bet this yet, but I'm kind of flip-flopping on my side. The Cleveland Browns are taking on the Houston Texans. The Browns are now -2.5. They were -3 when we spoke on Tuesday. This line was as low as -2 yesterday. So there's even action on both sides of the market. My cat's not happy. I might have to go let her out here real quick. The total's 44.5. The Browns are -132 on the money line, JC. Houston 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 games against Cleveland. The total's gone under in 4 of Houston's last 5 home games, but the total's gone over in 6 of Cleveland's last 7 games. And I discussed that. Remember, Cleveland, these home road splits are really bad on this defense. They average 11 points per game given up at home, and they average 29 points per game given up on the road. JC, you're going to love this. Yesterday, I used a baseball analogy.
Oh, did you?
Easier. I think the Cleveland Browns have that home field advantage, just like a pitcher in Petco Park or a left-handed hitter in Yankee Stadium. It's going to augment their strengths. Sure. I feel the weather in Cleveland has done that. That's one of the reasons I'm switching. So I haven't bet this yet, but right now, before I leave Cleveland, right now I'm leaning Houston. Some other things that I'm worried about here for Cleveland. Is Denzel Ward going to play? I don't think he's going to play. That's a huge loss. That means 2 of their starting corners from the beginning of the year are out, and we know how much that can hurt a team. And I know Joe Flacco's got the playoff experience, but I still think that right now CJ Stroud's a better player. Flacco has done well statistically, but going back and watching some of those games, I mean, a lot of those statistics are off big plays.
Yeah.
He's very dependent on big plays. He's not moving the ball up and down the field consistently. The question is, will Houston be able to get the pressure that they need in order to rattle him so he's not able to make the big plays with their banged-up defensive line, as they have multiple players, including Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate Will Anderson Jr. on the injury report this week. So originally, I like Cleveland, I like the defense, and I like the veteran quarterback. Now, I haven't placed a bet, but if I'm picking all 6 games, I kind of like the Texans side. What do you think, JC?
So, yeah, I mean, I nearly flipped on this game. I was on Cleveland from the jump. I just think Houston's too green. CJ Stroud, rookie quarterback in the playoffs, never don't have great statistics. He has not been playing defenses quite to the caliber of the Cleveland Browns, so I think he's going to struggle there. I don't think he's going to get those big plays like we saw last week. And yes, you worry about the shine kind of wearing off on Joe Flacco, the flash being up. But I mean, when you look at these teams right now, it really seems like Cleveland is poised here to take the win. Now, this is the thing. This is the playoffs. You got to really dig deep. You got to look at the full slate and figure out where the upset's going to come, right? They're a short favorite. So, this is certainly one I could see going either way, but I just kind of lean Cleveland. I like the experience on their side. And again, I don't think Stroud is going to be able to ball out like we've seen against this defense. As for the total, I want to say Ward said he's hinting that he will play. So nothing official, but he said something in a press conference that he wants to play. He's sounding like he's going to play. Don't necessarily know if that final decision will be up to him or not. As for the total, numbers a little deceiving, right? Because Cleveland has been hitting all these overs, but their totals have been extremely low. In Houston, the opposite. They've been hitting the unders, but I mean, last week it was 47, 43 and a half the week before that. So seeing this number more up there, I lean towards the under. However, I would simply just pick the winner here because I think an over directly correlates to a Houston win, and I think an under is Cleveland. So I already got my money down on Cleveland. I'm fine with that. I'm sticking with it. I'm not going to be shocked if it loses. I think that's a smarter bet. And if you want, especially if you'd rather just take money line, if you don't want to mess with 2 points, just grab the under if you want Cleveland. It's a great way to play it because I just don't see Cleveland winning as it turns into a shootout. It's possible.
Does it concern you that these two teams played in on December 24th and they put up 58 points and CJ Stroud didn't play?
Correct. Yeah, that is a tad bit concerning. However, that was some of the best Joe Flacco play we've seen. So, 36.
What do you go for 368 and 3 TDs against Houston last time?
Yeah.
Now, do you believe that Houston has an advantage with that tape? We talk about zigzagging basketball, and it's not this team wants revenge. They have more mistakes that their coaches can build from to make the adjustments necessary. When you get a win, what do you adjust? Nothing. It worked.
The thing is, though, it's a completely different game with CJ Stroud.
I'm saying the Texans' defense, do you think they have an advantage and that, hey, we're not going to let Flacco go for 368 and 3. We know what we did wrong. We're not going to let Cooper get loose because if I remember right,
he had
that was Cooper's biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
And that was the game. He destroyed me in best ball because I didn't draft him at all this year.
He had 15 targets for 265 yards. So again, that's another reason why I like the under here, just because I don't see it being to that level, right? Like that was an insane game, and I don't think Cleveland's gonna be able to score like that to get to an over. That's why I'm not messing with the total though, because obviously having once can happen again. But I think it's gonna be a little more playoff, smash mouth football, relying on the defense, and the margin for which Cleveland can come down is so large that it's. There's going to be a natural regression from that game for Cleveland. And like you said, the defense, they get a little bit of second looks. But at the end of the day, they were the message is going to be don't let Cooper get open. And
Cleveland also missing some safeties here as Grant Delpit is out and Juan Thornhill could not go. I just mentioned Will Anderson and the other defensive line member. I should mention his name. If you're not a rookie of the year candidate, I don't know you. My apologies. Jonathan Greenard, who's had an excellent PFF rating this year and winning a lot of his pass block win rates. He also practiced this week. Looks like Noah Brown and Robert Woods are back in. So I'd say the injury report favors the Texans at this point. Anything else that you're looking at here? Like David Njoku has got to be popular on props. I've seen a lot of people going under on CJ Stroud, kind of taking the out of your playbook, rookie quarterback, first start in the playoffs. I don't like that bet, but I understand where they're coming from. The props that I do like that I hear a lot of people saying when I'm consuming content all week, I do like this Njoku. I think you can go over on his receiving yards. I think you can go for him as an anytime touchdown. That seems to be Flacco's second favorite target by far. I probably would not go back to the well with Cooper. I think that he'll be priced too high. If you want to go on Cooper, I would play the under. And if you get burned again, you get burned again. But I'm thinking the combination of the last performance is going to artificially inflate the number that they're going to post, because how many people will run back and just say Cooper went for his career game last time they played. I'm going to go right back to that well. And also the idea that D'Amico Ryans and that defensive coordinator staff can see, how did we let Cooper get so open, and how can we prevent doing it again? So I like Njoku overs. I like Cooper unders. What other props do you think we should be looking at?
Just real quick on CJ Stroud. I just want to point out too. So his current passing prop is sitting at 242, and when you look,
it was as high as 250. It's been bet down, which is crazy for props because usually people only bet overs.
Yeah, 100%. But when you look at like his game log, I mean, he had an easy schedule, especially if you want to pick out the games where he, was really dialed in. Like 336 against Arizona, 304 against Jacksonville, 470 against Tampa Bay. That's a crazy stat. But you look like 140 against Carolina, 199 against New Orleans. So again, even more so than, because I understand obviously there are plenty of poor rookie performances we can pull in the playoffs, but you can also find some solid ones like Joe Burrow. I think not rookie, but first time. I think it's the strong defense really that's going to hold him back even more so than the playoffs. So I just wanted to call that out. I agree. There's no way. I mean, I'm sure everyone jumped on Amari 75.5 receiving yards. I don't love that. I would expect it to be a little bit higher. I want to look at rushing yards because I think that's kind of going to be. I think the Browns are just going to run it on Cleveland like Indianapolis did last week. So I mean, Kareem Hunt 25.5 could be a steal, and Stroud over 11.5 also a decent play, because if they do get the pressure on him, he's going to be forced to scramble. So I know that's not exactly the direction I was thinking, but looking at the lines, those two jump out at me.
Browns road overs were 8-0 this year. The average total when the Browns were on the road was 51.
Wow. That's crazy. So again, I just say Cleveland -2.5. Great play, solid play. Stick with that. Things can get a little bit too dicey with that total.
The average Texans home game was a 43.
Yeah.
And the Texans have scored at least 20 points in every home game this season. I like the over. Okay. JC, I've only got involved in this game in one way right now. Do you want to guess? It wasn't a side or a total, and it wasn't a prop.
Well, then
teaser.
Oh, okay. Yes, of course.
So I moved the Texans up to 8.5.
Okay.
This is the first leg, and I'll give out the second leg when we get to the game. What do you think of that, though?
It's probably safe. I noticed too. Kay got some teasers, and that's probably No, I like that. I was a little hesitant, but I think a lot of these games, I think there's a potential to be very low scoring. So when you tease one team up to such a high number, I think you're safe no matter the direction the game goes. So I know he's got like Miami. Kay's got like Miami +10 in one of his teasers, which is a little crazy. But if it's as low scoring as we think, then 10 points is going to be fine.
The Miami Dolphins are +4.5. They're in Kansas City. They're taking on the Chiefs. The total is 44. JC, an emotional JC Zargo, came on a show with me on Monday and said that he was going to bet it all on the Chiefs. He called Tua. I re-listened to the show, bro. I enjoyed it. This is one of the greatest performances we had as a tandem. You called Tua a 75-cent quarterback, and you said that there's no way that this team was going to go on the road and get it done. Mm-hmm. You're obviously emotional all the time. Mm-hmm. I think that it's fair, my job as a host, to allow you, after some time of reflection, to retract some of those statements, just like you would when couples get in arguments. You say things you don't really mean, and then, things calm down, and you're able to retract those statements and think clearly. Now that you've had your cooling off period, what do you think of the statements you made on Monday?
I will say I had to go back and re-listen to, because I kind of blacked out during.
It was a fun show. When we're arguing, the show is better.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
If we agree, the show sucks. It's
It
way
really
better
does.
when we disagree.
100%. I understand why Skip Bayless does what he does. Let me. I'll just answer your question simply by saying I have placed the largest wager of my gambling career on this game, and I did not have.
So you have not changed your mind?
Not one bit. I don't take back a single thing I said. I meant it all, and I'm worried because it makes too much sense. Remember on week 17 when we were talking about Tampa Bay and the Saints? This game makes too much sense to me, and I thought it was just because I'm a Dolphins fan. I understand. I know this team, but everyone seems to agree with me. 80% of the money's on the under. I don't understand this. We are going to have.
Bro, and we bet 43.5 yesterday. It's 44 right now.
I know. It's going to be like 3 degrees, wind chill minus 30. I don't understand where people think the points are going to come from. And so what I did is because I didn't. So I'll just tell you my bet. My bet was Kansas City money line and under 50. Under 50. So I brought it up just to get a little bit better number. And I feel great about that number. And then I also put a pretty sizable bet on the under 44 as well as under 34. This line's not moving, man. I do not get it. Even when they played in Germany, we only saw 35 points. So I don't know. I don't know if Vegas is just going to take a bath. If they know something we don't. I just have no clue where the points are going to come from. I have no clue how this game gets that total. The only way it's going to hit the over is if Kansas City wins 35-10. I'm just so confused. Miami's defense is going to be, we get some guys back, so they're going to be stronger. And Kansas City's defense, offenses look weak. I'm scared. I'll say that just because the numbers haven't moved like I expected them to. So I don't know if you can shed some light what I'm missing. Someone in the chat, please, because everybody is on the under and most everybody's on Kansas City.
I can't shed some light. If the chat wants to try and help you out, let you know. Clyde will be there, our guy in the chat.
That's right.
We'll break down this game, Clyde, and then we're going to answer your ridiculous question. Although, to be fair, I think it's kind of funny today. I'm with you on the under. Now, you have to do this as a bettor. Let's talk about the ways this game goes over.
Sure. Yeah.
Your beat-up defense can't cover anyone. Kansas City actually catches the ball, or they're just able to run the ball, and the fact that their receivers don't catch doesn't matter. That's one way it goes over.
Yeah.
2, a really close game.
Yeah.
35-10 or, right, 24-21.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Either one of those would be disaster for us. Pete's got a good one. Turnovers.
Sure.
Setting up short field position. But these aren't crazy defenses that are super opportunistic. So obviously that's a possibility, but it's not like when you're betting on inept offenses.
And it's not like last week, right? Like, I mean, Miami got 2 red zone interceptions. That was way more of a Josh Allen thing than a Miami defense thing.
Yeah, and you're not going to get that this week.
On these conditions, I don't know. I mean, so Miami, most of their interceptions come kind of on like deep passes. You're not going to have many deep passes in this game. It's going to be a lot of dink and dunk. And the other thing, too, is if the wind's as bad as it is, we might get some favorable field position on punts, because if the wind's that crazy, you're not going to get these 50, 60-yard punts. And another point is, if they just run the ball, like if everyone's just running the ball and both teams are
good for the under, though. Keep that clock running.
Sure. But still, I mean, break off some big runs, guys miss tackles. That could certainly be another way.
There was a Raiders game earlier this year where the offenses were super efficient and they went into halftime at 14-7 because there was 3 possessions total. So running the ball, I think, will help us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I'm just trying to think of ways that they move the ball. And so the other thing too is people love to pull up the stat about like the over under in like games with freezing temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
Those totals are always like 35.
In the 30s, yeah.
And also, yeah, they're in the 30s. Here's another great stat for you. The Miami Dolphins, and there was a recent stat, which I won't pull because they've been terrible recently, so I don't think it plays. In the history of the Miami Dolphins, one of the oldest football teams, they are 15-42 in games under 50 degrees. So yeah, it's
all right. You like the Chiefs. I didn't get there with the points. The thing is, because I like the under so much, the plus 4.5 seems like it's too much. I mean, 14 to 10 is plausible.
Yeah, so I mean, if it's low scoring, I can understand staying away the points. I do like the points, but again, making the biggest bet of my career, I didn't want to risk living in the timeline where both my Dolphins lose and I lose my biggest bet because Kansas City wins by 3. So I just went ahead, took the money line, brought up the total to make it safer bet in that regard. Props that we were about to get into. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's fine. All right, do you want to answer Clyde's silly question?
Sure.
You can start. He says, I'm arguing with my girlfriend right now. Would you put frozen bread in the microwave for 10 seconds or an air fryer?
So it's going to have a funny texture if you put it in the microwave. Do air fry. Because if you get, it's going to take a while. But like I put like those like frozen breakfast sandwiches. You put those in the air fryer.
You want to know what my stuck-up answer is?
I think I know, but go ahead.
No, what's your guess?
Well, I just assume you're going to say something about eating frozen bread or just let it thaw out naturally or something along those lines.
No, I'm going to say go on a low-carb diet, Clyde, unless you're an athlete. What do you need bread for?
Dang.
What do you need all those carbohydrates for? Just to sit here and press under and over.
Spread. Where do you store your bread when on the rare occasion
I don't have bread.
If you were to have a loaf of bread for whatever reason, where would you store
it? I put it on top of my fridge.
Okay. When I moved to the West Coast, I learned a lot of people, and maybe it's more of a Southern California thing, put it in their fridge. They store their bread in the fridge.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I think so. It's like in the South, we never did, or East Coast. I think it's a humidity thing. I think it goes with the humidity. It lasts longer at room temperature.
Yeah. Did you see what he said? It's Ezekiel bread.
Dude, that's good stuff.
Call me a
good. I don't know what, but it does come from the freezer. Like you got to get it from the freezer section.
All right. Well, enough about bread.
It's not Clyde. It's not basically keto. It's healthier.
Yeah, don't buy the fake stuff. You want to go on keto type, Clyde, do what I do. Eat meat and vegetables.
Oh, and get yourself
can be jacked.
Heavy cream lattes. Breve. That's my favorite part about keto.
All right. The Pittsburgh Steelers are +9, JC. They're in Buffalo taking on the Bills. So the spread's gone down and the total's gone down. Keg nailed this one on our Monday show. It went from 43 to 35.
Yeah.
Now it's down to 34. This is weather-based news. I absolutely hate this game.
0 sense, spread.
What makes 0 sense? It makes 0 sense to me to bet on this game.
It makes 0 sense that it's going to be in the 30s and snowy in Buffalo, so the total drops. It's going to be sub-zero in Kansas City, but the total's not moving.
Oh, you're still talking about that game. Okay, now it makes more sense. I'm like, what do you mean? I think it's a tough line.
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved in this game. If there was no weather, I would take the Bills to smash them. At 9 on a total of 34. But no TJ Watt, this team's going to be terrible. Mason Rudolph's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just say I had to bet it. Maybe a Steelers team total under, but what is the team total?
I'll tell you right now.
What are they? It'd be like 22 and 11?
Like 12.
Yeah, 22 and 12. Do I want to bet under 12?
DK has just too many offerings.
Bookmaker doesn't even give me my team totals yet, and that's what I usually use to give out the lines here. While you look that up, I'm going to talk about a couple of the times that these teams have faced off. the total's gone under in Pittsburgh. 7 of Pittsburgh's last 8 games against Buffalo. However, the total's gone over in 4 of Pittsburgh's last 5 games. Way to go, Mason Rudolph. Buffalo has won their last 5 games. So not a lot there, trend-based here. Let me pull up the playbook. I was working on it earlier. The team total's 10.
10.
Yeah, not bad in that. I have this game projected as a 22-12 Bills win. I don't have a big edge on this game. I don't even know how you get involved with it. And they've even already juiced down the props, so it's not like you're going to be able to think that you're going to get smart and be able to bet these props unders. I guess you still could, but I don't know. I don't like this game at all. Do you like this game at all? I'm down to move on.
No, not really. It's kind of it'll be a game time decision for me, right? Like if I smash both games on Saturday, I'll probably get involved.
So what would you be doing? Because I know that Tyler actually likes to, and my other buddy Will likes to watch and actually watch, 5 minutes for the kick and see how bad the weather is.
Yeah.
Now, the tough part is that he said there's times where it's been just miserable, and then by 2 hours into the game, sure, it's sunny.
I like Pittsburgh with the points. I just think it's going to be so low scoring. It's going to be really hard for Buffalo to get that big of a lead. And while, yes, they don't have TJ Watt, they get the benefit of going against Josh Allen, who is liable to throw many, many interceptions. So I think Pittsburgh's defense is strong enough in a low score. I mean, all of Pittsburgh's games are low scoring. So
Pittsburgh's defense isn't strong with TJ Watt's not in there. They go from being a top 5 defense to like the 22nd defense in the league.
But we haven't seen that this season.
Yes, we have. They've been terrible when he sat.
I don't think he sat.
Yeah, he missed 1 or 2 games and they sucked.
Okay, still, I think it's just a decent play. I mean, back at like 35, 37, I might come involved on the under. But for me, it's going to be the only play I would make is Pittsburgh with the points. And it's already moving. Like it went from 10 and now I'm seeing 9. Everyone thinks it's a Buffalo smash. And it's like,
it is a Buffalo smash.
They're playing better. I don't think Pittsburgh has a chance to win, but I don't think Buffalo has what it takes to blow out Pittsburgh, especially in the conditions of this game.
All right, we'll skip Clyde's most recent question, but you guys can answer that in the chat if you want. All right, we're opposite on this game, but I don't think either of us are actually betting, right? We're just arguing for the sake of content.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance. I take Pittsburgh plus 10, but
there's a really low chance I get involved in this game. I like the 9, but you said my reasons of why I'm hesitant.
Yeah. No. I don't think you're like an idiot if you take the points. That's a dicey. Both are equally dicey. What's Clyde on today? I mean, I like it. I like him bringing the random questions.
He's like this every day. What do you mean today?
He doesn't normally come with questions like this.
Yeah, that's true. Usually he's busy just being rude to me.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe he made a resolution to not be rude to me, and now he doesn't know what else to type. Wait, no, he called me a D-bag 3 comments ago. Never mind. The Green Bay Packers.
That's not it.
That wasn't the resolution this year. The Green Bay Packers are +7 JC against the Dallas Cowboys. The total's 50.5. This is my favorite game of the week.
Wow, really?
I'm taking Dallas, bro. Their average margin of victory is 21.5 points per game at home. They've won 16 straight games at home. They're 8-0 at home this year. They average 37 points per game scored. They average 15 points per game given up. They've scored 33 touchdowns at home. Now I'm going against the Packers defense that isn't very good, and I'm going against Jordan Love, who's a rookie. The same reason that you said CJ Stroud, right? This is his first start too as the quarterback. And I think that the Cowboys are getting set up for the ultimate letdown when they get smacked around San Francisco again in 2 weeks. But they're going to look great for these next 2 weeks. They're going to smash in this wild card round, and they're probably going to look pretty damn good in round 2 as well. So give me the Dallas Cowboys here. I think this is an absolutely smash spot. I'm all over it. But I'll tell you what, everyone I've talked to has disagreed. Everybody else thinks the Packers keep it close. That's why this line was 7.5. Now it's 7. People like the Packers. The market likes the Packers. I guess I'm just Call me J.R. Ewing because I'm all over Dallas. And you're muted. And that was a good line by me for those old enough to remember.
It was. No, I liked it.
Thank you.
This one I put way more thought into than almost any other game on the slate. Like I said, Sunday night Monday, I'm looking at it. Easy pick, easy. And this one, I really thought about and I came to my decision today, and I just realized I had like what the heck? Just like what are we doing here? Kind of. How many times have we done this? Right? Where you're like, ooh, man, I don't know. This team, they're playing pretty good. Going to Dallas, that's a lot of points Dallas has got to cover. And then Dallas blows them out. Right?
Yeah.
Like, because my thought, I was going through the whole Dallas in the playoffs, they're always liable to choke. They're at home playing Green Bay. Green Bay has coming off a couple good divisional wins, but what do we got before that? They edged out Carolina by 3. They lost to the Bucs. They lost to the Giants and DeVito. Green Bay is kind of having a moment for some reason. I don't know why people were starting to appreciate the Packers. I don't know if it's just because they climbed their division. But Dallas, we're talking about Dallas at home, where they've just dominated teams. They win by double digits. So when it was I'm glad to see it back at 7, was it 7.5? Ooh, is that too many? No, Dallas is going to win by double digits. It's going to be a boring game. This game will be over by halftime, and then you can prep for the real game, which is when they maybe not. Who do they get? Who do they get next week?
The Rams-Lions rematch. Might be the Lions rematch, right?
They'll get the winner of that
Dallas
game.
is 2.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be a better game, but still, if it's in Dallas,
then they will get the winner of 3-6, right?
Do they?
I think they reseed.
Do they?
So maybe if the Rams win, they would get the winner of Eagles-Buccaneers.
There's no reseeding in the NFL playoffs.
Okay, then they would get what? Winner of Rams-Lions?
Yeah, is that what the bracket says?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll be a better game, but still, I think they'll
yeah, Clyde thinks they reseed too. I think they reseed. I don't think there's a bracket.
Well, there's no.
Regardless, it doesn't matter. Let's talk about this game. We both like the Cowboys -7. I like Cowboys props. They're going to go off.
Oh.
So bet your CD overs. Even Tony Pollard is going to have a good game. And all you fantasy owners are going to be pissed because he's kind of going to look good. Total is 50.5.
I think what they meant by no reseeding, it's not like if San Francisco loses, there's a new 1 seed, but it's still the best seed plays the worst seed in the divisional round.
Yeah. We'll get there next week.
Yeah.
Our guy Pete said it, though. This was the second half of my teaser. So my teaser is the Texans and the Cowboys. I'm a Texas guy this week.
Why wouldn't you just take an alt spread and whatever? I just don't think I think that's a little unnecessary, but whatever.
Why do you think it's unnecessary?
Because Dallas is going to smash. You don't need Dallas -1.
I bet them 2. I did that. I did 2 bets. I have 2 bets in my account right now. One bet is Dallas -7. The next bet is Houston +8.5. Dallas -1. Pretty sharp, huh?
Yeah.
All right. What are you talking about? 100 degrees outside.
Clyde asked iced coffee or hot coffee.
Oh yeah, I always have it hot too. All right, you want to talk about the best game of the weekend, JC?
I thought we just did. Oh, this has been betting wise. Was your favorite game?
Yeah, this is my favorite game to bet, but my favorite game to watch.
Absolutely.
Matt Stafford returns to the place that he started his career. Not only that, he faces the quarterback in which the Rams traded for. The quarterback that Sean McVay said, "You're not good enough to win a title with me." Somewhat vindicated as Matt Stafford comes in, takes over the reins of that offense, and leads the Rams to a Super Bowl victory. Both teams will have revenge on their mind. JC, who will end up being the victor in this grudge match?
It's a chalky underdog, but I'm on the Rams.
Chalky, huh? Rams were 7-1 in their last 8 games, 6-1 against the spread in their last 7. However, Detroit also 6-1 in their last 7. So both these teams are playing well. 2 teams on a collision course, highest total on the board. Should be a great game.
Absolutely, should be a fun one. 3 points, that's a gift. Jump on that all day because in the event it does turn into a shootout, you're covered with 3 points. I think that's awesome. Rams, they've been here before. They know what they're doing. They're a real playoff threat. The Lions, who wouldn't love to see the Lions lose as long as you're not an NFC North fan? But it's just they did it. They got to the playoffs. It's great. Maybe next year they can be a little more competitive. But I think the moment's going to be a little bit too large for them. I haven't been here in like 30, 40 years. It's the Rams are that team. Everyone's talking about it. So like I said, it seems really chalky. And though they're the underdog, it seems like everyone's favorite play. But sometimes everyone's right. And I think the Rams are going to head on to Detroit, pick up a win, and then we're going to have it sucks. I thought they were supposed to play. I was really hoping they play the Niners next week. Whatever. Regardless, though, it's going to be really sad for Lions fans to have their hearts broken. Bye.
They would play the Niners unless the Packers won. That's what I think.
Oh, smokestack coming in with the Heat.
He says the Lions will win a blowout. I'd like to know why. JC, here's my idea. I think this game's a coin flip, and I'm getting plus 147 on the money line.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Rams on the money line.
Yeah, I think either way, you can either get that better number in a coin flip, or you can get the points and be covered.
I think there's good 2 ways to argue this.
Yeah,
Rams have the better quarterback. Rams could have an advantage with Sean McVay knowing all of Jared Goff's weaknesses and the reason why he shipped him out. Could that be mitigated? Yeah. Maybe Ben Johnson said, you know what, Sean, you had no idea what you're doing. I taught him this stuff. Now he's ready to go. So that one might not come in there. I think the Lions have the better offensive line. Can Aaron Donald wreak havoc on that offensive line? It's possible. He's so good, even against the best offensive lines. He's been fantastic this season. If Aaron Donald is able to get some pressure and to slow down the run, it's going to be huge for the Rams. On the other side, I don't think the Rams' offensive line is as good as the Lions. Who's going to win the battle of the trenches on that side? So if we're wrong, right? Because we both said Lions here. We both said Rams here. It's because the Lions win the scrimmage, right?
Yeah.
They just triple team Aaron Donald, and no one else can get anything done. On the other side of the ball, they're getting huge push off, and Montgomery and Gibbs get 2 or 3 yards of gain before, yards after contact is +2, +3 before the contact's even made, because the Lions are able to blow them off the line of scrimmage. Other than that, I believe these teams are pretty close to equal. I believe the Rams have the advantage on the offensive skill players, but I think that's mitigated by the fact the Lions have the better players in the trenches, which is why I view this game as a coin flip, and I'll take the plus 147.
Another point to the money line, which I think you talked me into it, is if this is a close game, Dan Campbell's going to do something stupid and give the Rams a game.
I don't know if I believe that.
I'm just saying, for talking about.
We're not going to relitigate that, but I've still said that he did that last week, knowing it wasn't the right play because he didn't want to go to overtime and get someone hurt.
All right, fair enough. Now, the other thing too that I was looking at the numbers, I didn't realize how bad the Rams defense has been. So I like the over even more. I'll probably be a little more leveraged on the over than on
highest over on the board. JC, this one's 51.5.
Yeah.
I like this over much better than the Cowboys over. I believe that the Cowboys have a serious chance of shutting down the Packers. I don't think either of these teams are going to be able to stop each other. I like this over a lot better than I like the 50.5 and Dallas in Green Bay. Did you have any props that you were looking for in this game? I think this is another fun one for props. I think Jahmyr Gibbs should get some more workload in the passing game with Sam Laporta being out. I would like his receptions over. I think Amon-Ra is going to have a big day on either script because if the Lions blow him out, it's because they had a big day. If the Lions are losing by a lot, he's going to get a ton of targets. I like St. Brown as well. If you think the Rams win, if you want to bet the Rams, another way to do that is through Kyren Williams props. However, if you're like Smokestack and you think they lose, I wouldn't play those props. So I'd say Kyren Williams props are completely dependent on how you view the game. If you have the game script of a Rams win, play those Kyren Williams props. If you do not, if you're on the Lions side, maybe a Kyren Williams under and wait till kick because it's just going to get steamed up. All these numbers are going to get steamed up. Everybody's going to have this game going over. People are going to like these props. On the Rams receivers, I don't see an edge. Maybe you choose one and you go with it. I would choose Nakua, but I think those are the hardest ones because I can see either man going off, and I could also see an uneven target share. What do you think?
On your point of receiving, I like Coop more than Nakua. Just first playoff game. I mean, he's their guy. So just at risk of the moment being a little too big for him, I think Cup's a safer play, but probably is close to a coin flip. The only prop I would place here, just because I don't want to get bogged down, I don't want to lose my money on the game because I got too much in props. Just give me Jared Goff over 263.5 yards. It's great because either this game is a shootout, he's throwing the ball, we hit an over, or the moment is too big for the Lions. Rams get off to an early lead, and then they're playing catch-up all game, and Goff just got to throw. So I think that's pretty low number. So I think that's the best way to go here.
All right. Clyde on the Rams. He says the advantages are coaching, quarterback, wide receiver, and defense. 3 out of 4 there, Clyde. I don't know if you can say the defense is better.
Yeah, that's kind of like it's just which defense is less bad.
All right, JC. JC, I'm not going to be able to do the review with you guys on Monday. So you guys can either do it without me or we'll do it on Tuesday when all the games have completed. But my point is, because I'm not going to be here on Monday, we're going to have to jump in on that Eagles-Buccaneers game right now.
Yeah,
I think this is the toughest game on the board. This is a game I want to fade both teams, JC. Both teams have hurt quarterbacks. Both teams have porous secondaries. The problem is they're playing each other. What do we do? Do you have an edge on this game? Because I'll tell you what, I do not. I have nothing on this game.
I love Tampa Bay.
Let them know why.
Why?
What's the point of tuning in to hear me say I have no idea?
So, I mean, I touched on Monday, right, that there are 3 teams in these playoffs that everyone's kind of expecting to just switch it on once the playoffs start. And
who are these 3 teams? Remind me. Let me see if I remember. I would assume it's the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Buccaneers. Am I correct?
No.
I mean, Eagles. Chiefs, yes. Bills, Eagles. I'm sorry. Yeah. I had it right. I just it flipped me off.
Yeah. Yes, the Eagles. However, I mean, the Bills, right, they're trending in the right direction, so that makes sense. The Chiefs are the Chiefs of Patrick Mahomes. There is zero indication that the Eagles are ready to play football. They have gotten worse and worse in this 6-game stretch. They are down bad. Nothing is going well for them. They're clearly banged up. You got to find some dogs to bet in the playoffs, and I think this is the easiest one. It's a little concerning because tell me if I'm wrong, spread. I haven't done that much research on this game. Where's everybody at? I feel like everyone's on Tampa Bay. Am I wrong?
No, it's even money. In fact, money's coming in on Tampa. You're right. Money's coming in on Tampa.
Yeah. It's the problem, of course, is that Tampa is extremely inconsistent. You never really know what you're going to get out of Baker.
The problem is Baker Mayfield didn't even practice yesterday.
Oh, I didn't see that. So that's what I was going to say. Is like we had this uptick on Tampa Bay. And it's like, oh, Baker was hurt when he's fully healthy. Look at this sample.
He's not going to be fully healthy, though, and he scored 9 points against Carolina last week.
Well, yes, I was going to say. However, there is the concern of 13 against New Orleans, only 9 against Carolina. So it's not. I'm not saying it's it's a can't miss play. Like obviously that's concerning, but I just have no faith in Philly. I love the talk of Sirianni getting fired. I feel like that's extremely unlikely, but when things are that bad, that should let you know. I mean, this team's in shambles, nothing going for them. The team in front of us, the team we see today, has no business being in the playoffs. So that's why I'll absolutely take the dog in Tampa Bay. And you got to take the under. I mean, again, how both these teams are playing, I think there's a real chance this game is just a stinker. And I think the under is a great play.
I agree with you also because for it to go under, all you need is one team to sync it up.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to decide. But
Nope.
Hurts is banged up. Baker's banged up. One of them doesn't get there. Also, it's Monday night under. Hasn't that been the money all year?
Oh, yeah.
All right, JC, there is our card. My favorite bet for the weekend is the Dallas Cowboys -7. Give the people your best bet of the week.
It's the under in Miami, man, and bring it down. Like no number is too small for this one. You can get like plus 200, or probably not quite that good on under 40. It's just there's going to be no points in this game. I'd probably be talking under even in perfect conditions. So give me the under. And I'm not a parlay guy, but go ahead, tack on that Kansas City money line because nothing's going to go well for the Dolphins on Saturday.
Sounds good. All right.
Real quick, did you see Pete asking about AJ Brown? Have you been following the news on him?
What? He deleted his Instagram?
Removed all mention of Eagles and missed practice, kind of just like ghosting the team.
He missed practice. Now I don't care about social media. I care. I probably should.
I agree. It's kind of like what?
Not showing up to practice is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Deleting your Instagram, that's some petty drama shit.
Yeah.
Have 2 drinks and do that.
Sure.
Right? Doesn't mean a lot. Right? We talked earlier. You say stuff in the heat of the moment you're not mad about, right? Get some time. Oh, wow. He didn't practice, huh?
So even more, that's turmoil in Philly, even more reason to like Tampa Bay.
All right. Words of wisdom.
Yeah, I'm going to the greatest coach in the game right now, and that is, of course, Mike McDaniel. To exist for yourself is a beautiful thing.
Mike McDaniel is not the greatest.